Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Golden Sheltie Podcast.
Yay.
Today, we are going to talk about handler struggles in public. And of course, I'm Natalie.
I'm Dakota, and before we jump into everything, we do want to take a moment to say that today is 9/11 and that horrible tragedy happened 24 years ago today. And I figured we could take a moment to reflect on some of the amazing working dogs that were
Yes.
working during that day. And one of those dogs was guide dog Roselle, and his handler, Michael Hinkson, he worked on the 78th floor, and Roselle led Michael down 78 floors and then
Amazing.
40 blocks to his friend's apartment.
Wow.
And, he had his life to thank for Roselle, or Roselle was to thank for.
Yeah. And he was, I should say, he was fully blind
Yeah.
and she was his guide dog. And that is incredible.
With
Um,
everything going on, just thinking about it from a dog trainer's perspective, too,
yeah.
that is a very well trained dog. It's very
Oh,
well
yeah.
modeled to the handler, and
Hmm.
it's just amazing.
Yeah, and there was like smoke everywhere. I believe that Michael had said he let her go and like go, and I think she didn't realize that he did. So like she went down a bit and then realized, "Oh wait, you're not with me," and came back to find him and was like, "No, we're going together." And she
Yeah.
was like determined, "I am gonna do my job." Um,
Mhm.
which is so crazy and insane to even like that's wild. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And another part of 9/11 tragedy was that we saw a lot of rescue dogs going in and helping pull people out of the rubble,
Yeah. It was
which is
about, I think it was over 300 rescue dogs, search, rescue,
wow,
recovery, everything.
that's amazing. I know they also had like some therapy dogs there as well. It's just very tragic day in America, and it was so amazing to hear all these stories of the dogs, of course of all the heroes, like human heroes, like they're of course amazing. It's just another added level when you hear all these amazing dog stories, because
Yeah.
dogs are so important to our society and our lives. And it's a huge like highlight to see how amazing a dog can truly be.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
But yeah, so let's get into our topic today, which is, the struggles of a handler in public. We all know it all too well.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
There's so many things, the public, access issues, but there's just so many things that can happen.
Um, I think we should start with like you how people like just talk to your dog. Like
Okay.
they go up to you or they see a dog and they
Yeah.
completely ignore the person, and all of a
Yes.
sudden they're in your dog's face and they're like, "Oh my God, you're so cute.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
oh, you're
100%.
working. I know I can't touch you, but you're adorable." And like I'm like, "But you can't do
You can't
that."
do that.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's just
it's a lot. And like I sometimes like will give people the benefit of the doubt because like, maybe you don't see the vest, maybe you've seen people who have brought their fakes in and are okay with petting, like it's so many things. So I do definitely try to give benefit of the doubt, but the ones that really, and I'm gonna say it, the one like be honest, like the ones that truly annoy me are the ones that, like you just said, go in their face like, I know you're working, but you're so cute. And I'm like,
yeah.
if you know it's a service dog, you shouldn't be talking to it. Like,
Yeah,
talk to
why?
me.
Why? Like, if
Yeah.
you read the vest and you got that far to service dog, what's the point of
Uh,
continuing? to go.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And don't get me wrong, like I'm totally okay with answering questions like in public, like if people want to like, whatever. And it's fine. Like ask me a question. Like I'm not going to be like closed off to it. And you know what? There might be a day where I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to answer
Yeah,
anybody's questions.
I think
But
picking off of that too, people don't
yeah.
realize we have dozens of questions that are basically the same
Yes.
during
Yes.
one outing or like during 20
Yes.
minutes or something. Like everybody's saying
Absolutely.
something. And I
Mm-hmm.
understand to them, like we're maybe the first service dog they've seen, or
Mm-hmm.
they're so interested in stuff. So it's like one person, asking. But to
Yeah.
us, we see a lot of people asking this and a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
wanting to know more and stuff, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But we're
Yeah.
people too, and sometimes we need a break.
Yes, I totally agree. One of like the weirdest moments that like just pop in my brain is we were at Disney with Pluto and my husband, and this lady was like kind of staring at us. She had her like grandson and she was on like those like scooter things. Um
Yeah.
and she like comes up to us because we were stopped, and she's like, "Oh, hi." And I'm like, "Oh, hi." And my mind, I'm like mentally preparing for like the questions, like the typical questions. And she's like,
Yeah.
"Can you teach my grandson about service dogs? Because
Oh my
I
gosh.
had a service dog, and I want you to tell him what that means." I will admit, okay, it was like so cute and I loved it because it's like an educational moment and everything.
Yeah.
Um, I was also kind of annoyed because I had a lot of people ask me questions that day. And
No,
I
yeah, I totally get that. That's
and then
valid.
like I also feel like in my head I was like, if you had a service dog though, like can't you like tell, like I'm like, so I asked her, I'm like, in a nice way, because I'm like, because she said like all the stuff already. She's like, "Oh, you're not supposed to touch the dog and this and that." And I'm like, so what do you want?" Like, so what do you want me to say? Because I like she
Probably
said it
wanted
all.
she maybe wanted the kid to hear it from like service dog handlers,
I
but
picked up on that after, and so like
yeah,
I did say it to the child. I was like, "Oh, like, while they're working, da 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 da." And like I thought it was really cute. I will admit it wasn't like having like the greatest moment in that moment, because I think I was
aw,
trying to get away from the crowds and trying
yeah.
to just like regulate. Um so she didn't catch me on the best moment, but I did try to explain to the little boy, like, this is blah, 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 blah. Um,
Oh,
I
that's
think,
awesome though.
no, it was really nice. I like that. And I love when I hear parents teaching their kids, like, that's a service dog. You're not allowed to touch him because he's working. And like, I love hearing that. That's so amazing. Um, another weird like thing that people feel very comfortable telling us, is
The dead dog
my
stories.
dog just died. And sometimes they'll start like, "Oh my God, he looks just like my dog." Like, "Oh my God, like so, like exactly identical." And then they tell us about the most tragic death that their dog had.
In
And I'm
detail,
like,
in
yes.
detail.
Oh my God. I'm not even gonna say it because it's so terrible, but like, it's just like, please don't tell me how your identical dog to my dog passed away in like graphic detail, because that
Yeah.
is traumatizing. Like, it's triggers things. And then for someone, I think that's the other thing is people don't understand. And like, I'll talk about like why for me it's like super triggering, because part of so like I have diagnosed anxiety and depression, like, and my whole thing is like I think about, like, I have a lot of intrusive thoughts, and it's not like intrusive thoughts like I want to hurt myself. It's intrusive thoughts as in like, "Oh, if I'm crossing the street and this car doesn't see me, I'm gonna get run over and die." Like it's those, sorry, that was graphic, but like it's
No,
those are
you're good.
my normal everyday thoughts. Like it's one of
Yeah.
those things. And so when I go out, it really is like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out. This man is gonna kidnap me, and like all these horrible things are gonna happen to me." Like I just think of like really bad thoughts, and it's gotten better. Um, but when you tell me like in detail how your dog, who looks exactly like my dog, passed
You're just
away,
gonna start thinking about it.
this is my whole thing is like, oh my God, like this is gonna happen to my dog. And in reality, like I do really stop myself because I'm like, okay, no, like your dog's young. You've been to the vet so many times, like he's healthy, like nothing's wrong, but it can be really traumatizing to hear how someone's dog passed away because I'm really like so we talked about it one time when we were looking up uh what is dog daddy, and like people, I told you like people send me videos and I'm like I can't watch it. I will not on purpose watch it because I cannot see that happening to a dog. So like I can't imagine like something terrible happening to a dog. It's
Yeah,
just
it's horrible. It's horrible to think about. It's horrible to see. And
yeah.
it's even worse that it honestly it is happening out there in the world. And there are people like Dog
Hmm.
Daddy and American Standard Canine and all those basically compulsion trainers.
Yeah.
But um, I think at the end of the day, all we can do is control ourselves and advocate for what's right.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that was a little off on the tangent. I was just kind of like trying
Oh
to
no, it's
like
good.
explain like why you telling me, not you, but like in general, someone telling me that their dog died is in graphic detail is horrible. Um and I see I will share stories of like how my previous dogs passed because
Hmm.
I only do that though when someone's telling me about like they just lost their dog and like da da da, and like I just do it to help them like see like you're not the only one going through it, like people have gone through it, and like I help talk to them about like grief, and tell them like, hey, this is what I went through, like this is what happened with me, like blah blah blah, those different things. I don't just go up to a stranger and say that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's a really uncomfortable and awkward to have a stranger tell me that. Um, Especially because if I'm going through like an episode where like I just want to be alone or I'm trying to get Pluto to like regulate me, it's I don't need that. I don't want that. So that's one. Um, I think another one is so we
You
talked
know,
about, go
yeah, I
ahead.
have one that like I'm like really I
Yeah.
don't,
Oh my God, go.
but there's so many different opinions around it and there's so many different things that people do. But I do not like when people ask us what their name is. And then
Hmm.
immediately, let's say you give them a name, whether it's fake or real, and they go, "Oh my God, Lassie!" Like Fidget's so happy right now. But
Yeah, yeah.
like I just
It's
hate that. And
just, hmm
it's like you don't need to go and say their name to them and tell them like I've seen a movie that looks like you,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
like you're so cute. Like the dog doesn't need to hear that.
I always give a fake name. So like
Yeah,
now that I can tell the the type of people that will do that, I will give them a fake name.
yeah. Oh
If
my
it's
God, same. It took a little while.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's so funny because one of our cousins came with us to Disney. He works there and he was like he met up with us. And these people were, I mean, I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, like I just didn't want to deal with it. They were huge Pluto fanatics. So they saw my whole like getup. I had my backpack, Pluto's
Oh,
gear, and like my Pluto hat and like shirt. So like I had my whole thing and like our little Pluto cup.
yeah.
Um, and they were wearing Pluto stuff too. And they were like, "Oh my God, like please tell us his name is Pluto." But I was like alone because my cousin and my husband went to go
You
get
made a good
food.
choice on that one. Yeah.
And I already had been talking to a girl who was she wasn't talking about Pluto with me, but like she was just talking about like where I got my hat because she really liked it. Um,
Mhm.
but like I was like, this is too much energy. I love the energy, but like I'm not in the headspace to
Take it
like
down from a 10 to a 3.
yeah, but I loved their enthusiasm and excitement. It's just I was just not in the place to like receive it. Like I felt like my social battery was like already really kind of low.
Yeah.
Um, especially when you go to a place like Disney, you have to be really aware of your surroundings. So like half the time you're not really relaxing. You're just kind of making sure your dog's okay. Um, and I was like, no, his name's Max. And they're like, oh, well, he's super cute. And, after they told me like, oh yeah, like we know everything about, or not everything, but they're like, we know about service dogs. We know we're not supposed to talk to them. And I'm like, damn, I really wish I would have told them his name's Pluto now. I felt really bad, but I was just
Yeah.
protecting
I mean,
myself.
yeah, you never know. You really never know, especially when people
Yeah.
are high energy and excited. Like it might
Hmm.
just slip and they don't like know it,
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think I don't know about California laws, but I do know
Okay.
about New Jersey laws. Distracting a service animal here, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, it is a misdemeanor and considered a crime.
Yeah.
It's obviously it's not, unfortunately, it's not enforced as much
No,
as it
it's
should
not.
be, but I think it's something that people should keep in mind when they see a service animal in public because
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah, there's so many things. I just posted a video recently about people taking photos of service dogs. And it's kind of one of those things that like why you don't talk to the dog, why you don't distract the dog is a major part of it is the dog's doing a job and it could miss an alert. It can get distracted. And of course, people say that your dog should be highly trained and not be distracted. But at the end of the day, I'm like, it's an animal, it's a dog, it has its own, like they're not robots.
Yeah.
And yeah, that could be distracting. And there's only so much you can prepare for. There's only so much you can train for. I think that, you know, doing all these things is, yes, it's a misdemeanor, but also on a more like serious note, we could really miss an alert and it could be really detrimental.
Affect us. It can
Uh,
like a moment between having a medical episode or preventing a medical.
yes,
So
correct. Yeah. And then
it could
so the
really
the photos is a big deal because you don't know if the dog is tasking or if the person's in a medical episode. And I think a lot of people think medical episode means ambulance and police and fire and like, oh my God, like emergency. Like, no, we're not saying medical emergency, we're saying medical episode, which means that we're dealing with something medically wrong with our bodies. I don't want to say medically wrong, but you guys kind of get what I'm saying. Um,
Before we continue, going off of the photo thing, I think
yeah.
another thing is a lot of people, a lot of weird people or in creeps, to be honest, they will try to get our names and phone numbers off of our dogs' tags, which
Oh.
is one reason why I don't like having like pictures taken of my dog unless I completely consent to it, because then I can flip his tag and make sure the tag's not showing any, number or name or anything.
Oh my
But I have
God.
heard of that happening to quite a few handlers. And I'm just like, that's one of the reasons why I think a lot of people get mad and they'll say to me like, "There's no exception in privacy." Like I know that I film in public, but I'm not filming somebody's like, you know, issues, or I'm not filming somebody's number and name and stuff. Like when people get up
Oh
to
my
my dog's
God.
face with the camera, yes, I'm gonna say no, you cannot film my dog. Like you gotta back off because I don't need my name and number out there.
Oh my God, I'm
Did I just
shocked right
open
now.
that up?
Yeah, now there's a whole other like, well, okay, I will be honest. Pluto, okay, so I had Pluto a tag with his number, our number, his name, all that jazz, when he was a puppy. But he chewed it up because he was a puppy. Um, and so I never got him like a newer one. He does have like his rabies tag and like
Yeah.
his home again tag. Um, but I'll have to,
People can also get that and look that up too, I believe.
yeah, I was just
It's
thinking
like,
that. So I'm like, now I need to be cautious.
yeah, it's
But
just something I always keep in the back of my mind because I'm like, so many people are like up in their face with cameras.
oh
And
yeah.
I say yes to a lot of people to take pictures, but like it's when I say yes and when I can take the collar off or when I can twist it
Oh
around.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, when we do like when we meet Pluto, the character at Disneyland, or meet a character in general, I don't care if people take photos. Like it's cute.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm not going to stop it. We're not working at the moment. I'm not going through a medical episode. Like, take your photos. I don't really care. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't like the photos now. I really don't like when people take photos. Oh my gosh. I don't want
Well,
someone
it's
to know.
important. It's also like it's good to remember that it's from far away too. So when you're doing the character things, they're not going to see the
Oh yeah,
tiny
yeah.
stuff,
No,
but
I mean
it's
like
just
the up close thing that you're
yeah,
saying.
it's
Oh
still in
gosh.
your mind.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
no.
just opened up a whole new can of
You
anxiety.
did, you did, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna be more preventative about it now. Thanks for telling me because
Yeah.
now I know like okay, if someone wants to take a picture, let's take. But see, I put his those tags on because there's like a whole other thing that maybe people don't know is if you do actually have to have a medical emergency, if something does happen, like
Yes.
see, here goes my my intrusive thoughts. Like if you get into an accident, if you get hurt and need to go to the hospital for some, and you have to get separated from your dog for some reason,
Yeah, you
um,
have
those are
name, number.
identification tags. So you have to people can claim your dog essentially,
Yeah.
like your service dog. Um, but yeah, I think the public. I think that's the most difficult part about having a service dog is really the public because there are so many people that like know and that like are amazing and great and like will leave us alone. And there are also a lot of people that they're like, I know your dog's working, but he's so cute and I love dogs and I'm a huge dog lover. And like, I really want to, I'm like, okay, well, me too. I've made it into a career. So,
Yeah.
I'm also a huge dog lover, but they're working, and and I'm not even gonna lie, like I get excited when I'm out and I see service dog working, like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Like I love it, but I'm not gonna stare at them or watch them and like, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like, one time I was at the gym. So my biggest trigger is going to the gym. I've always had like anxiety and like panic attacks when I'm at the gym because it's just a trigger for me. Um, so we were at the gym with Pluto. I was walking on the treadmill and this lady, um, I guess she wasn't there to work out. She was talking to the receptionist the whole time, and I heard her continuously talk about my dog and dogs, and so I don't wear headphones, and like I want to start to do it, but I don't wear headphones at the gym because I have anxiety of like if I don't hear something. And like if I don't hear something and like
Yeah.
Pluto and like someone comes and talks to Pluto and like I mean Pluto's really good about it, but I am just super paranoid about there might be a one day where he just like, oh well, I'm gonna do it, and like again, they're not robots, so I'm
Yeah.
not comfortable wearing headphones at the moment. So I could hear her talking and talking about dogs and this and that. And so I feel them looking at me. And so like that anxiety is like building and building and like I cannot concentrate on like doing what I want to do, which is walking on the treadmill and like just like relaxing. And
That leads to another thing. I don't think the public should treat us like a zoo exhibit,
yes. And then it
staring at
gets
us and pointing and talking about us loudly. I mean, we can talk about
yes.
to other people, but like,
Don't
don't
say
do
it
it so
so
loudly.
loudly. Yeah. And then it gets worse because then I started having like a panic attack because I could hear them and I could feel them looking at me. And, so I had to get off the treadmill and I had Pluto do some deep pressure therapy, which opened up a whole new like conversational topic on me. And they kept staring at me and I'm like, you guys, like, it's a dog sitting on me. Like, it's not like we're watching some like celebrity or like crazy thing
Yeah.
happening that you have to stare at me. And I just like couldn't regulate. And so, my husband saw and he was like, let's go. Like, we can't. And it's just like one of those things. It's you either gotta like push through it or you have to leave because, it's hard to push through it sometimes. And like that's the difficult part, especially I think at the gym because you can't just walk away half the time because you're doing a workout. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like the staring really bothers me. Like it does. I get it. Like you're excited to see a dog working. It's just
Yeah.
I think when we talked about last episode, like we're just angry. Like it just it's just annoying and frustrating and
It
there's
is,
a
it's
lot of
a lot of frustration.
yeah, because you don't want to like I don't want to like and I think that's like a trade-off too. It's like you get the attention, you don't want the attention half the time, and like now you have to learn how to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um so like in places like Disneyland. I think this is why like I feel really comfortable going to Disneyland is people are so focused on other things that half the time they don't really realize you have a dog. Or if
Yeah.
they do
There's
like
also so many people there too that it's hard to focus on one person staring or one person saying, "Oh my God, so cute," or like
absolutely.
like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and the other thing I love is that because it's somewhat loud, I can't really hear it half the time. So either I'm like tuning it out or like I really just my hearing is not the best, so I can't hear it. And I
Yeah.
know that because I was editing a video on my Meta glasses and I was walking from the back of the castle to the front of the castle and there I swear was like a bunch of people.
Mhm.
And I was like trying to get out of there because I'm like, I don't want to be in this crowd. But there was a bunch of people, and you just hear, like in a few different languages, of course, but it's like, oh my God, dog! Oh my God, there's a dog! Oh, look at the dog! Oh my God, the dog! And I
Yeah.
didn't hear it as I was, sorry, walking through. But now I have my glasses, and it's like, oh wow, okay, that was
Oh,
a lot.
do those glasses like enhance audio too? Like
Um,
enhance on?
It's
Or like,
it depends on the distance of the person, because
oh,
sometimes if they're kind of far, you can't hear them. But if they're like in this vicinity or like here, I think people in front they can't hear the audio. But people on the sides, because the mics are here, I think it
yeah.
does pick up the audio.
Wow, that is awesome. That's
Like
also really like accessible for people.
oh yeah, yeah. It's really cool. I obviously really love my Meta glasses. They're super easy. Um. We can I'm gonna do more videos on my Instagram about it, but yeah, it's I love them a lot. I love that I can have like two angles of like filming now. It's really cool.
Yeah, oh, that is awesome. I gotta get myself a pair eventually.
Yeah, they're amazing. I absolutely love them. It just makes like filming a lot easier and it's cool because like at Disney, for example, like my head is like on a swivel half the time. And, now it's a little less on a swivel, but also because like I also trust Pluto and we've been going there for multiple times now.
Yeah.
And he knows it's work time when we're there. And so when I didn't have them before, I wasn't able to like really film. And then also like I get anxiety of like filming with my phone because
Aw.
I feel like oh my God, people know I'm filming them. Like, oh, it's kind of scary. Like I don't want them to, like it's just so weird. Like I don't know. It's just like it's so uncomfortable because I think it
No,
draws
I
more
get it. Yeah.
attention. And like I don't
Yeah.
want any more attention.
Because then people are like, "Oh, what's that for?" Like, "Oh, is it for something? Like, is that somebody like filming something for like real? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
here, I don't know, but I can see that happening, or like people thinking that at Disney.
Yeah, so I don't do it. So with the glasses, it's just like, let me click them on and then like,
Yeah,
whatever. And the
that's
hard part is the angle of the camera because the camera's up here. And so
yeah,
like if I want to see like this, if I were to have them on, it would show like this. But if I want to show something down here, see like my head is looking down, but the camera's still
yeah.
looking up
You really
here.
got
Yeah,
go
I have
down.
a video of that coming out, or I probably already posted it by the time this comes out. But yeah, I recorded like my POV, like what I see, and then versus what everybody else sees. And I'm just like
Yeah.
literally like my whole face is down trying to look at Pluto. It's really funny. I feel kind of like a weirdo sometimes because like if I'm filming something, I'll be like like all slow-mo and like just trying to make it look good.
Yeah.
So it's really silly, but
I love
yeah.
that though. I love that.
But yeah, I
Um,
think a lot of like there's a lot of things that we deal with like the public wise.
yeah. One of the things I really hate is when people because I might experience it more than most
Hmm.
because, my dogs have dyed tails,
Hmm.
but adults and children will grab their tail and pull it.
Yep.
And to be honest, what's surprising is it's adults more than kids.
Yep.
And I'm like, why? What is the
Yes.
thought process behind like, oh, let me pull that dog's tail and see what happens? Like, I no
Like
words, no
why?
words.
Like why? Yeah,
Why?
and I just saw a video about it was actually at Disneyland and there was like these kids doing like this whole thing with Chewbacca and the character Rey. Um Fun fact, I just watched all of the 9 Star Wars movies, so that's why I know their names. Anyway, so they were it was Chewbacca and Rey. And one of they were like focused on the kids because they wanted to do like a little show with the kids. And
Yeah,
this lady came up behind Chewbacca and he's like, I don't know, like 7 feet tall. Like he's gigantic. And
yeah,
the lady came up behind him and just like went like this to him. And like then she left. I think they were just trying to record like a funny video. And then the characters were like, okay, we're leaving, bye. And like just they didn't do the show with the kids or anything and just like kind of
yeah.
left. So it's kind of like that. It's like they don't have respect for like
Yeah,
an
there's no respect,
animal.
no motive.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I think this is funny. It's going to inconvenient another person. Let's do it.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, like it doesn't matter. I want to do it and I think it's funny. So like I'm gonna do it. And it's
Yeah,
like so, yeah, it's so frustrating. I mean, I just posted one about a little girl trying to pet Pluto. And yes, he wasn't tasking, but we were technically practicing a task. And yes, he was going to the
yeah.
bathroom, but we were practicing a task. And
Regardless, you're still in a non-pet friendly place. He's still got his vest on. He's still by
correct.
your side working. Like, I
Yes,
feel like
yes.
even when service dogs are off duty, they're still working. Like, even
Hmm.
just sitting here with my dogs around me, I keep looking down at because they're all being a little crazy. Um, but like, if something was like going on with me, they'd be like, on me sometimes.
Yeah, it
They have
doesn't
that.
end. Yeah, it doesn't
So
end. And just
it
because
doesn't matter. If they're on
that,
duty, they're off duty.
yeah, and oh, you know what? And that's like a good, I mean, we didn't really finish this, but that's a good thing. It's like people think they're just laying down, they're not doing anything. Oh,
You know,
no, when you're at work, you could probably be sitting down and you're not doing anything, but you're doing something, like
we're sitting down and we're doing something right now.
exactly. There you go. So it's not like we're not doing anything, and
Yeah.
that's the whole thing with like dogs too. It's like, well, your dog's not doing anything. Like you don't know that. My dog is waiting to task, waiting to alert, waiting to, you know,
Their next command, waiting for their next command.
yes, there we go. And that's one of the things. But going back to the tail pulling, yeah, like I physically stopped as I saw the little girl coming towards us. I had a barrier, which was my husband creating a barrier for us, and it still wasn't a deterrent for this guy to pull. And it wasn't the child's fault. She was like, I don't know, like 3 years old at the time.
Mhm.
And he just was like allowing her to do these things and not until she actually touched his tail and they did it when I turned my back to them, which pissed me off even more because I'm like, you see me physically stopping in my tracks, telling my dog to back up, having a barrier, and you're gonna just continue to do whatever you want to do. Like it's so disrespectful.
Yeah,
And
unfortunately, people lack common sense, and that's
yeah,
another issue we have with the public.
yeah, yeah. And so, when they did that, I'm like, he's working. And I yelled at them because I was like, I already gave you so many like signs that like I did not want this. And I think in the video you can't really hear me, but like after they do leave, I'm just like, Jesus, like I'm just so mad because I'm just like, like I
Yeah.
tried not to do that. I tried not
Aw.
to I tried not to get into that angry mode and like be mad at you and like yell at you, but like you made it so impossible to do that. Um,
And this is completely like kind of a little bit off topic, but like when you post things like that online, people don't see that buildup of anger. Like,
no.
and they don't like, to them, it's not justified. It's like, oh my God, you just yelled at a 3-year-old kid.
Yeah,
Or
seriously.
like, no, first off, you yelled at the parent. The kid doesn't understand
Yeah.
what you're saying.
No.
And second off, like, you're justified in that anger. That's valid. And these people, I really wish some of these people can spend like a day in our shoes because
Yeah.
they really don't understand. They'll say, like, oh, your dog's doing nothing, like we said before, or oh, like you dye their hair for attention. Like, there's many reasons why I do that.
Hmm.
Um, or just like, oh, it doesn't matter if you distract them, like they're just dogs there, like they're just by
Yeah.
your side.
Yeah.
And
Or
there's
they
so
should
many
say
people.
oh, your dog's highly trained, so it shouldn't be distracted. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's a dog. It's
Yeah,
not a robot. I will die
I'd
on that
like
hill.
these people like at their work, and I'm gonna like yell their name or like yell in their face, and I
Yeah.
want to see if they get distracted from that.
I would love to do that. I would pay to see that.
I would too. That would be a really good video.
Yeah. And I think even within the community, we get that where, I recently had someone tell me like your dog should not have been distracted in that moment. I'm like, my dog wasn't distracted at all. Like, he
Yeah.
was doing what he was supposed to be doing. It could be distracting to people. It could be distracting to a service dog in training. Like, it could have been with me having like a task and like or needing a task and like the child is continuing to come up to us. Like, I think that there's so many ways to look at it, but even within the community, it's like that. And you
Yeah.
know, I think if you don't have, and I'm not saying no that the attention is different for everyone, or it's not the same or not on the same level. I'm not saying that at all. I think what people don't understand as well is I have America's friendliest dog, and everybody loves Goldens, and they're just the best, and they
Yeah.
have to be so friendly. And I think a lot of people have scary dog privilege. A lot of people have, like, I don't know how to explain that, but I think
It's
you
just
understand what I'm
dogs have
saying.
to deter people. Like a Rottweiler, I've seen some people have
A
uh
Doberman.
German Shepherd Dobermans. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, it's just dogs that people don't want to even interact with. Like,
yeah.
for
And they
me,
might get
I get the
attention.
golden. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
the golden thing, but like, for me, it's Lassie. Oh my God,
Yes.
he fell in a well.
Yep,
And
yep.
I get that so often. I
Hmm.
kind of hate it at this point, but it
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, and then
And
my friend Vanessa gets that too with the Irish setters.
yeah,
Because everyone's like, "Oh my God, what kind of dog is that? What kind of dog is that?" But like it's mostly asking her what breed it is. It's not like I get the question. I don't even know how many times. I can't even like tell you in one like outing, like let's say to Disney, like how many times people like it's every time I go somewhere, I will get that question. Like at least two times. At least
yeah,
two times on at every single outing. And so like it becomes really frustrating. And I think that's what people don't understand too. Because if you don't have a dog that is the most friendly dog, amazing dog, and everybody wants it. And also, I'm not even really excited about this whole Air Bud movie. I am and I'm not because I know it's going to create so much more. Oh my
it's
God,
gonna be
it's Air
so yeah,
Bud.
yeah. It's like the Malamon movies and the Lassie movie with the whole rough collie craze and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, 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 yeah.
it's a chain of events and it's a cycle. It's gonna happen,
Absolutely.
unfortunately.
No,
Uh, but yeah,
it's just one of those things, and so like it gets really frustrating. And, like I think that, even within the community, like you're not really allowed to be like upset, and you're not allowed to tell people, not within the community, just in general, you're not allowed to say no. And people feel entitled to pet your dog, entitled to speak to your dog, because dogs are, um, they don't have, I guess people don't like, they feel like what is that I'm trying to say? Like they feel like, I guess, entitled to pet your dog and to say hi to every dog and to do all that because that's what
Yeah,
society
well,
has made them think.
dog or society views them as like property, which I guess legally they are property, but I still don't get why people would be, I guess, touching your property, Like, I don't get it. And I think a lot of people,
Yeah.
another thing that they don't understand is that these dogs are legally classified and considered as medical equipment.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
it's like, would you walk up and, pet somebody's wheelchair or grab
Mm-mm.
somebody's wheelchair or touch it or
Or
grab their
oxygen.
cane and, like
Yeah.
do something like that? Like that's not okay. So why would
Yeah.
you do it with dogs?
People just don't have boundaries with dogs. When Pluto was in training, so when he was younger, we introduced him to one of our friends. We were at a park and like we were on the basketball courts and like I had Pluto on a long line and he was off duty, so I'm like, go say hi, like let it go do your
Yeah.
thing. And this person who had never met Pluto before just grabs him like because Pluto like he grabbed him on his back and just picked him up. And I screamed at him. I'm like, put him down. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? And he was like, oh, I always pick up my dogs. I'm like, no, don't pick up my dog. And he was low-key so offended that I did that. But I'm like, no, I don't want Pluto to think that every time he sees a person, they're gonna pick him up. Like,
Yeah.
that could be like, that could literally wash him. Like,
Yeah.
like it could literally be the meaning of like he's no longer a service dog. And yeah, they were really upset, but like I stand up for my dog.
Yeah.
I
As you should, as everybody
yeah,
should. And people
yeah,
should be afraid of that. Like tell somebody no. Be strict about it. Like
yeah.
scream at them if you have to. Like it doesn't matter. It's your
I
dog, you.
I just could not believe that he just took it upon himself to
Yeah,
just
that is
pick up my
insane.
dog. A dog that he's never met, by the way. Like it was just like, no, you don't need to pick up a dog. Like, no.
Yeah,
It
I
was just bizarre. Like I was like, no, we're not doing that. And so like that's
yeah,
why I'm also glad, like we were kind of talking about last episode, like that's why I'm glad Pluto is like persistent and headstrong because there's a lot of things that happen to him that just he's just like, okay, like he just moves on and he can recover
yeah.
really quickly from. Um,
I love I probably say that about once an episode, but I love Pluto.
oh my gosh, thank you. I love him too. Yeah, and he's perfect for like when I go to work because he's my demo dog at work and he's my um that video I did with Maddie and Coda. He's my sacrifice, like I'll bring him
I
with
love
my
that.
reactive dogs and I'll like help my reactive dogs work around Pluto and he's great. Um, and it's just he's great. He doesn't get affected by a lot of things and he'll see the dog bark and he looks at me like, "What's going on, mom?" And I'm like,
Like, what's
"Nothing."
up?
And I just jackpot him a bunch of treats. I'm like, "Everything's great." And he's like, "Okay."
Aw, he's amazing. He really is amazing.
I can't wait till he's like I don't want to say a little bit older because he's already two. I can't get over the fact that he's 2 years old. I still see him as like a little baby. But I can't
Aw.
wait till he like gets a little older and he's not as
He's gonna
puppyish.
mellow out a little bit.
I hope so. We need a little bit of the mellow out, but especially like I was saying last time too, it's especially right now because it's been so hot. I can't take him anywhere and I feel really bad. Um, taking him out. It's just so disgustingly hot. Um, so he hasn't really been out so much and he hasn't been working outside. He's, does his stuff here. Like he grabs my medication for me and like alert me if I need it and all that jazz. But yeah, he's great. But yeah, advocating for your dog is like the biggest thing. And I think people are scared because I mean, I was kind of scared because one time I did and like I got screamed at. Like that's what
Yeah.
our reality is when we
That's,
do stand up, we get yelled at.
that's the reason why I stopped giving out Fidget's name 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Because some lady asked his name and I used to say, sorry, no, he's working. Like I don't give out his name while working. And
Hmm.
when I do those videos on fake names, those are the comments I get is like, why are you lying? Why not just say sorry, he's working? It's like, no, because I was screamed at and I don't want to be screamed at
Hmm.
anymore. So when I give a fake name instead of his real name, I'm still satisfying the other person, but my dog isn't going to get distracted in the process. And I don't get screamed at.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, yeah.
And I think that's the other thing why people have a hard time like advocating for their dog or themselves sometimes is because we face a lot of backlash. Um, and it's really wild. Because like it's you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like it's
Yeah. Yeah.
you cannot win. And like that's a lot of what's happening in the service dog community. You just cannot win.
It,
Like you're gonna
people got
lose.
unfortunately, people got to pick a side, and then it's horrible. Which is why I
Yeah.
completely stepped away from the service dog community. I,
Yeah, it's been wild. I'm
yeah,
really trying to just find people that are nice and um not super judgmental and all
I
that
feel like we
jazz.
just try to find real people.
Yeah, I
Yeah, like
agree.
people that are okay with talking about reality and they won't get mad because your dog didn't stare at you for like an hour on one outing.
Yeah, that's so dumb. Yeah. There's
Yeah,
and that's gonna probably be another episode is like rules in the community that are not laws, they're just rules in the community.
yes, yeah.
'Cause there's so many and yeah, it's again, you're just never gonna win and it's dumb. Like, like if you didn't okay, well you didn't do this. Like how come you didn't do this? Well, how come you didn't do that? You did this, but then it's like, well, why did you do that? Like, it's like you're not it's somebody always gonna have is always gonna have a different opinion. And I think the biggest thing for people to like realize is or to think about is that we all have something different that we struggle with, and maybe you can like do X, Y, and Z, but the other person can only do A, B, C, and
Yeah.
like it's okay. Just like how you mentioned in the last episode about your client who had selective mutism, like,
Mhm.
um, there's some people that cannot have a conversation with people. There's some people that like one little ounce of feeling, and that's probably with me sometimes is, and I started is like, I felt like I had to please everybody. And so, like, I felt like I had to answer questions. I felt like I had to tell my dog's name. I felt like I had to do all
Mhm.
these things because that's what was expected in within the community. And I thought that's how it was. Um,
Yeah.
and then when I would start to feel like them get a little angry, like it was just a lot. Like, when Pluto was not when I was a puppy, when Pluto was a puppy. When Pluto was a puppy, I took him to Home Depot when Home Depot was still pet friendly. And I was taking him to see like the Christmas statues, and just socializing him at Home Depot. And I had put him in the cart, had a blanket and everything. And this lady just goes, and I'm like, whoa, like, don't pet him, like, and then she's like, why? And I'm like, oh, well, he's not fully vaccinated yet, and like I just want to make sure like he's
Yeah.
safe. And she's like, why? Do I have a dog disease or something? I'm like, and I in
I
that
would have been
moment
like,
was like,
whoa, back off, lady.
I
I
was
just don't want you to
so
touch the dog.
yeah, I was so caught off guard. Like the I think that that's kind of the point I'm trying to make is like people get upset and like I get scared when people get upset with me, like especially like strangers that I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just like from my trauma. Like it's just one of those things when I'm like, and then, I was just like, I didn't, and I'm like, no, I didn't say that. He's not fully vaccinated. I just want to make sure he's safe. And oh, she was so upset. Like she was so offended that she could not pet him. And it was
That's
I was
ridiculous.
just like, in my head, I'm like, I feel like it's okay if I don't let someone pet my dog. So why is it
Yeah.
not okay? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never got that either. When I first started training fidget at like 12 to 13 years old, I wasn't in the service dog community. When
Yeah.
I created his account, I was
Mm,
originally in like the trick dog community, so I would only post him doing
mm,
tricks and stuff. So like I kind of like figured all that out too by myself. So I didn't
I
have
love
anybody
that.
influencing me online about like what I can say, what I can't say. So I figured it out by myself. And then when I finally started posting about Fidget and him doing service work and stuff, I was confused. I was honestly really confused. I'm like, oh, am I doing everything wrong? And then I tried that for a while and it didn't work. It ended up getting like giving me more anxiety,
Yeah,
if anything.
absolutely.
It's just I think people need to do what works for them. If saying
I
hi to a
agree.
person and having a 10-minute long conversation is what works for you, that's awesome. But it's not what works for me. And I
No,
feel like even
no.
if you are gonna have a conversation with a person, you should be like, oh, when you see a service dog, just make sure that you ask and you sorry, Vi is playing in the other room.
You're
It's
fine.
barking. But but make sure like you're asking and you're I
Get
my
consent.
yeah, my train of thought left because like she's like having a blast over there.
You're totally fine. Mine is walking around and not Pluto, but
Oh,
Pebbles.
yeah.
She's walking around doing God knows what. Now she's trying to lay down and get comfortable. So, anyways,
There we go.
um, yeah, it's the public is really difficult to deal with sometimes. So having a fake name is what I roll with. And I tell people, think of the most boring name possible and just do it. Like
You
I
know
use
what I've
Max
been
because
doing
I feel like
lately?
Max is boring. No
Mhm.
offense.
I did Lassie for fidget because that's what everybody thinks anyway.
Yeah.
But recently I'm like, you know what? I want to have some fun with it. So I'm like, if
Yeah.
somebody asks me what like Vi's name is, I'm gonna go, yeah, that's Rebecca or that's Margaret or like something so random and like weird for a dog. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, that's Sir Cornelius or something like so
Oh my God,
like
like
weird. And then
ridiculous.
I feel like it would be so weird that they would just like walk away. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to test that, but
Yeah.
nobody's asked me since, and I'm like,
Oh
I'm
my
kind of
gosh.
like, oh, ask me.
Oh my God, I get asked that all the time, like all the time. It's can I pet him and what's his name and da da da. Da. I think another one is people asking you what your disability is. And I have a
Yes.
crazy story about that. I have so many, but one that just sticks out. I was in Nebraska with my family and we went to a casino and I wasn't like playing or anything. I really just wanted to take Pluto because we might go to Vegas and obviously like I want to get him like into the casino. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm down to go to the casino with my dog." Anyways, side story to that, I forgot my ID. And because I had Pluto, they let me in. I
He's like
swear.
your little portable
Yeah.
ID.
I was like, oh my God. I'm like, they're gonna have to take me back home. Like, I'm gonna just like, I can't stay here.
Yeah,
And
what?
then like the guy called his man, or no, the manager just happened to pass by, and the guy was just telling me like, no, you can't come in.
Mhm.
And the manager was like, oh, what's going on? Because she saw Pluto, and then he told her, and then she's like, it's fine, just let her in. And I'm like, I was like, finally, I get a service dog perk. Um, and so I told her like Pluto's name and like all that jazz. And they were so nice because they're like, she went on her headset and said, "Hey guys, we have a service dog. Be sure to like ignore him." Like she totally gave everyone the whole
That is
rundown.
awesome.
Oh, it was so amazing. That was like the best. Um, interaction I've had like ever
Mhm.
and like people being so accommodating to me. Anyways, I loved it. So anyways, we are in line to get like some snacks, like some whatever. And I'm in line and this lady goes, "Oh, why I forget what she specifically said, but she was like, "Oh, what kind of service dog is he? Or why do you need a service dog?" She asked me like what my like disability was. And I was like, oh, it's for a lot of different things. And she's like, okay, but what is it? And I'm like, oh, I don't really feel comfortable like sharing that with
Yeah.
someone I don't know, like I'm
Yeah.
like, I just don't really feel comfortable sharing that, but he does a lot of different things for me. And then her friend, like she like got annoyed, and then her friend was like, she's just asking you because her daughter has a service dog, and we just wanted to know. And I'm like, okay. And in my head, I was like, I was already like stressing out because like I was like, oh my God, she kind of yelled at me. I don't like, so like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, I don't think your daughter would be comfortable with someone asking her these questions and having
Yeah.
to answer that question.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like really like, no, I don't feel like, and I like, see, I think that that's where like it gets kind of like blurry for people. Like, it's like, well, you say what you have online, like you're let it up, but it's like, I'm choosing to be open online. I'm not choosing to have
Yes.
like this whole conversation with strangers that this
Yes.
is what I'm diagnosed with, guys. Like, like I don't feel like telling people that. Like that's really
Yeah.
private. And yes, I'm open about it online, and I'm really open about it. And I talk about it, and now I'm doing a podcast, but
Yeah.
I'm choosing when I want to do it.
That's one of the differences between me and you too, is I
Yeah.
don't share my disabilities online. But
Yeah.
in public, if somebody's asking what my dog does, I will give them like, he's a blah 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 medical alert dog. Like I'll
Hmm.
say one of the reasons
Yeah.
for these people, but like online I just go, oh no, he's a medical alert dog. Like
Yeah.
nobody needs to know, nobody needs to look into me or
No.
my issues, like that's my personal information for myself and like, my doctors and stuff.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And everybody has their choice, and everyone can choose to do what they feel is comfortable for them or right for them.
yeah,
She's my dog's trying to get comfortable. She hasn't found the right spot where she's gonna lay
I
down.
keep seeing the little blur in the background move.
And she okay, she's like 12 years old, side note, and she has like separation anxiety from me. It's gotten better, but
That's good.
when we're home, she has to be able to lay down and visibly see me, and
Mhm.
that's when she relaxes. So she can't find a spot where it's like, the perfect spot for her to relax in right now. So she's
Yeah.
just going back and forth and doing God knows what. Anyways, yeah, you can choose whatever you want to do, whatever comfortability level that you have, like do what you got to do. Like, yes, I'm really open about it, because I think that just for me, and I'm not saying for anybody else, but I'm really open about it because I haven't really met someone that has unilateral hearing loss, and I think deaf dogs are like, obviously because I have my Pluto's like a deaf alert or hearing alert. Um, I think they're so amazing, and it's so cool. Like I've always been obsessed with them, and now that I have my own, it's like super cool. But that, and then also like I think because my anxiety, my depression, like I think that's such a serious topic. And my family all basically have depression. And a lot of times it's we don't want to talk about it or we shouldn't talk about it. It's like a taboo subject.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want it to be a taboo subject. And I feel like if I can help somebody do that, then I'm gonna do it. And like, and it helps me because I can't really make, well, I could, I don't want to. I don't really want to make friends in person, like
Yeah. No, I get that.
organically, like I would
Yeah.
rather meet someone online, and like that's why I do meetups with people because like I think it's fun. I also will really just like to do like service dog meetups, and
That's what I do.
it's just easier because we both have dogs, and like if I need to like like focus on my dog, or like just like I need a
Everybody
moment.
understands there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And so like it's good, and so it's great. I like doing meetups. Don't get offended if I don't do meetups with people listening or watching, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
really selective. Although I am more open to it now that Pluto's a little older and like obviously I've worked with a lot of like reactive dogs and so like I know and like I'm not saying like maybe your dog's not well trained, whatever, but I do ask people to either send me their social media or send me videos of their dog working because I just like it's just for the safety of my dog. Um,
Mhm.
again, it's
I,
whatever you're comfortable with.
all right. So jumping in on the next topic is people shouldn't be feeding service dogs while they're working or attempting to. Um,
No.
Personally, for me, I have a really weird story, and I have
Mm.
posted a video on it because I did have my body camera on.
Oh my gosh.
I was in the New York City subway, and it's already a crazy place down there. And
Yeah.
these two guys with a bag of walnuts. They were just staring, and they were on something. They were on something. I'm not gonna lie, but they were just staring at us, and he was tossing walnuts on the ground. And I kind of look back at him, and then they start striking up a conversation, and they were like nice, but it's like it's a little weird at this point.
Very weird.
And then the one guy on the right was like, "Does your dog want walnuts?" And like he's already throwing them on the floor and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, no, Fidget does not want." Oh, I didn't say Fidget same, but I was like,
Yeah.
"No, they're good." And I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it because I'm also like at a meetup. I think it was my birthday at the
Oh
time. I
my
forgot.
God.
But we were going, I think it was to the museum, and it was such a weird interaction. And
Yeah.
then, there's also people, I think where I see it the most often is people in food courts at malls. They'll like throw French fries on the ground or they'll throw certain things or even just restaurants in general. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you don't know if a dog's allergic. You don't know if there's like a sensitivity if you're on
Yes.
a
Or it's
diet. Um,
poisonous.
yes, that's another thing. A lot of people will lace like hot dogs or anything they have with something poisonous for dogs, and
Hmm.
the dog will
You
eat
never
it again.
know.
That's our lifeline right there. So we can't
Yeah.
afford
Yeah,
for them.
here in California or Pasadena, California, there was a person I don't think they ever caught this person who was actually like lacing food and throwing it around like in the parks so the dogs would eat it.
That is horrible. I know
Oh
in
no, it's
Central Park
bad.
there's a couple cases of that.
So yeah, it's scary, but a crazy story about a service dog. This didn't happen to me, it happened to my client actually. Her dog's name is Malia. Malia is like
That's a pretty
one
name.
of the best service dogs I've ever trained. She's amazing and actually helped her handler get a diagnosis. And so now she finally knows what she has, what's going on. Like it's crazy amazing. Anyways,
Awesome.
um, so funny thing is, so they sell turkey legs at parks. Funny thing is,
Yeah.
we had prepped this because Disneyland has turkey legs. So we actually when we went to like an event, they had turkey legs and we were like I don't want to say teasing the dogs, but kind of because we were prepping for a similar
Yeah.
situation. Um so she was at Disneyland. And it was already kind of dark. Somebody ripped off a piece of the turkey and tossed it to the dog. And because she's a good catcher, she caught it. And her handler did obviously because it was dark, she didn't know what it was. And she was like, drop it, like, duh. And then so like of course she did. She grabbed it, saw what it was, and threw it away. Um, and I'm just like, why would you toss
Yeah.
food like that to
Yeah.
a dog you don't know? Like, and then because it was dark, she had no idea who it was, so she couldn't report it or like com I don't think she would have confronted anything. She would have just told the security or something, but she
Yeah.
couldn't deal with it because she didn't know who it was. Um, I think that's so insane. So like I'm like kind of on the lookout sometimes when with Pluto because I'm like, I don't want that to happen to me. I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
he'd eat it because he's a
It's
brat.
crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna add in another topic because I just
Yeah.
heard about it, or not heard about it. I thought about it in my head,
Yeah.
but people following us. And whether it's because of the
Yes.
dogs or because of us, who knows,
Mm.
or even touching us in general. I've had somebody try to like touch and grab my hair, and
Oh
then
my
he was like, I
God.
have that on video too. And he was like, when you cut your hair off, I want it. I was like, what? Like, why? But
Uh,
anyways, but people following us. I was at an amusement park with another service dog handler in California, actually.
hmm.
And this guy was following us around. And the other handler I was with, she's super friendly and she makes friends with everybody. And she like, she was saying hi, like hi to this guy. And um he ended up following us for over 2 hours, completely following us for 2 hours, and probably a little bit more afterwards too, because everywhere we went, he just showed up. And it was really creepy because he was like, oh, what are we doing next? And I was like, who's we?
Who's
Like,
this we?
who is this we that you're talking about? And he was really into service dogs and stuff. And I get it, but don't follow us for 2 hours. So we ended up going to security and stuff because that scares two girls in a park, especially when I'm like 2,000 miles away from home, you
Yeah.
know? And yeah, no, I was like, you don't follow people. I had to go to security. They had to track them down. Like they had to tell
Oh
them to
my
stop. And even then, he
God.
was lingering behind us the entire day. And
I would have a full-blown panic attack. That is so
yeah,
scary.
I've also had a guy, again, it's recorded because I record everything,
I love it.
but I've had a guy in a grocery store with his tablet go around and kind of get in our faces and like literally chase, like he was running, like to get in front of us or running to go behind us and chasing us. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't film my dog. This is another thing with the filming and
Hmm.
getting up to get their tags. And I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm yelling at the guy. And thankfully, like the manager came in and he was like, you need to get out. And eventually, like he did call the cops and the cops came, but they didn't like talk to me or anything. But they did, I think, kick the guy out. But it's just, I don't think people realize too that we're getting followed by people. So like our heads are on a swivel constantly.
Hmm.
And it's scary. And I don't even know how to prevent that other than to
Yeah,
tell people
that's really
you
scary.
cannot do that.
Yeah, that happened to Vanessa actually.
No.
And why that started this whole Sweeney getting a lot of like anxiety himself. And like she was at Walmart and this guy, she thought this guy was following her, but like she wasn't sure. So she just went into the next aisle. He went in there. She's like, okay, maybe this is a coincidence. Two more
Yeah.
aisles and he was still doing that. Like he was still following her. And so she confronted him. So this is why another thing, like it's hard when you confront because she confronted him like, can you not follow me? Or I forget what she said. And he like started screaming at her and she started having a panic attack and then like people were like trying to help her and then employees came and tried to kick him out like and this whole time Sweeney's trying to alert her and like task but she also doesn't want to sit on the floor and like get a task
Yeah.
because it's scary and
Yeah.
she's trying to make sure to keep distance so um finally when the guy left she finally was able to sit down and like do her stuff but she had to have her cousin and her uncle come pick her up and take her car and like take her
That's
home and
horrible.
she had to have her emergency like meds after that like she's already on meds but she needed like her emergency meds now because it was really bad and Sweeney started getting a little bit more like anxiety because s- Irish setters are very sensitive to like what you're feeling. Like it's
Yeah, they're very
extremely,
killer.
yes, extremely so because she was getting more anxiety about going out. He was like starting to also like she didn't want him to task at time because we were both in that time because our dogs are about the same age. We were both in the time where they were somewhat out of the training and so like we were are you being disobedient to do a task or you're being disobedient to be a punk like that's where we were at and so like it
Yeah.
was hard for her to know which was which. And I think Sweeney got really like sensitive to that. So that was what's going on with him. He's gotten better. Um,
That's good. That's good.
but again, it's like either you try to get away and be quiet about it and you still get followed, or you say something and you get yelled at and go into an episode. So, it's
Yeah.
again, you're never gonna win. Um, it was just one of those things. So it's whatever you feel comfortable doing and you want to do. And yeah, we shouldn't have to feel like we have to go with people to a store or something in order to feel comfortable, or feel
Yeah.
safe. Yeah, I don't like going to grocery stores with Pluto. I don't like, especially if I'm by myself, because A, the fakes are not enforced. B, I'm gonna have people talking to me. I get people to talk to me a lot more when I'm by myself.
Hmm.
Um, and then, like it's just I think it's just not worth it. Which
Yeah.
sucks because like I do feel like I'm able to go out a lot more and do things because of Pluto. And then the fact that it kind of just shifts because like the gym, for example, I haven't really been going to the gym because um the last incident we had at the gym where I was at the gym, then I went to a Target that was like this was like before Target was not good, by the way. Just want to clear that up. Um, but I went to a Target that was like 10 minutes away. And as I was leaving, I felt like someone was following me. And then the person I thought was following me went a different direction. I said, "Oh, okay, cool. Like it's just me."
Yeah.
But it turns out I was being followed by a guy, and he had followed me from the gym and I was leaving Target, which means he was in Target when I was there and I didn't realize. And as I was leaving, and I wanted to give the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, the Target, this is the closest Target. This person needed something, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Um, but the person didn't have any bags or receipts or any
Yeah.
items in their hand,
That
and
is crazy.
it and then they got into a car, or then they were like, is that your dog? And I was like on red alert, like, oh my God, this guy is gonna try to kidnap Pluto. And he's like, oh yeah, you go to the gym, that's your dog, right? And da da da. And I'm like, yeah. And I was trying to, as he was talking to me, just throw Pluto in the car, close the door, lock the door, and like try to get in myself. And he went into a car that was parked like directly on the other side of the lane, like right there. And
Oh
he
my God.
wasn't he wasn't the driver. He was the passenger.
So, so the, oh my God. So the driver could have been telling the passenger dude, like, if you came out, that is insane.
So
That is
I think
insane.
that's way too much of a coincidence to be a
Yeah. No.
coincidence. Like
Yeah.
there's too
Especially if they
many
seek
weird
you
things.
out like that.
Huh?
Especially if they seeked you out like that to like have
Yeah. It
conversations.
was
That's
really scary. And so like I'm scared to go to the gym by myself now because
mm,
now I'm like, what if they follow me home? And when I was going home that day, I had called my husband immediately, and I was like, oh my God, this happened. Like, what do I do? I'm really scared. And he's like, get out of there, like leave. And I'm like, okay. Then I start driving home, and I'm like, oh my God, what if they're following me? Like, maybe they're
yeah.
following me in another car. Like, I need to take like a crazy route home and make sure no car is following me. And then I'm like, when I got home, and I made sure no one was following me, I'm like, well, what if they put an air tag on my car or like tagged my car or like what if they put something track it's this whole so that's what I deal
Yeah.
with, like, and a lot of it and a lot of people are going to say that sounds really like irrational, like because it is, but like
No, but
that's
it's
just my
not.
brain.
It's not when you really think about it though, because it happens so often, unfortunately.
Yes.
So I mean, it's
Yeah.
good that you're thinking about it and taking like precautions
Hmm.
and stuff, but it's horrible that you're like it's like affecting you like that, Like
Yeah.
it's debilitating
So
to a point.
debilitating, yeah. And that happened to me in January, and I have not been back by myself since. I will only go with my husband. Um, and I just I'm really scared to go back. Like I really scared to make it a routine because I'm more so like this is where it just kind of sucks because I can't go by myself without Pluto because it's just I get a lot of panic attacks while I'm there. I
Yeah,
can't, and now I'm feeling like I can't go with Pluto because I feel like I'm going to be followed. Like it's September now. It's happened in January. I'm trying to get to the point where I do that, but at least for me, like starting to go to the mall and like walking in the mall has been one of the things that has helped. I
that's great.
haven't, I've been kind of busy, so I haven't really been doing that, but I'm trying to just get into like a routine because obviously, like doing physical activity is good for your mental health. And it's good to get yourself up and out. It's just hard. And I think that's what people don't see is like the things that you do to a person that has a service dog and you don't know what the reason is can really
Mhm.
be more debilitating,
Yeah,
and be really difficult because of what's going on in their life. Um, but yeah, being followed is that was the only time I was followed, and it was pretty
yeah,
scary.
it's crazy. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Nobody should have to go through that.
No, it's definitely terrible. Um, but on to our next thing.
I think we should start recapping everything and summing it up on what we should do when we see a service
Yes.
handler. So,
Yes.
um, one thing is you always talk to the handler, not the dog. Don't make any kissy noises, blah, blah, blah. And I think a lot of people should keep in mind that in certain states, it is a misdemeanor and it is a crime to distract a service dog, and talking can be considered a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
always talk to the handler, not the dog. Um, Another one would be, don't pet service dogs. A lot of them have vests on.
Mm-hmm.
They're working. Just don't touch them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, I think that's my two. Do you have any to add on?
Um, as far as the don't make kissy noises, I would also say that includes don't whistle at them.
Yes.
I've had people do this to Pluto's face. Oh, I was at the gym and Pluto was like away because I was on a machine, and they're
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, my husband actually stepped in because I was on a machine, and he's like, hey, he's working right now, like don't do that.
Yeah.
So
Good.
that I think I honestly like when people have talked to me, I'm more open. I'm more open to like, yeah, I'll answer questions. Like, yeah, sure, you
Mhm.
can know his real name. Yeah, sure, you can pet him. Like, like there are certain things um that I'm more open to doing. But if you're gonna straight up talk to my dog, it's like, nah, I'm not gonna. You already don't have like boundary issues. So like,
Yeah.
or I should say you already don't have boundaries. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, like, yeah, doing all those things. So like feeding, talking, distracting, like, um,
Mhm.
those are like main things. But if you see one, I'm not saying like turn around and avoid us, like just kind of act like it's normal. Like don't stare at us and don't think like, oh my God, a dog, like I totally get it. Like dogs are really cute and adorable and I
Yeah.
I get it. I totally get it. And I'm okay with people like looking at us. Like of course I'm not going to say don't look at us ever, but I more so mean like don't just sit there, stop what you're doing
Yeah.
and just
Don't
watch
linger.
us.
Dare.
Yeah.
Um, Another two that I have is don't try to feed service dogs.
Yep.
Don't give them any food. Don't even attempt to. Don't even ask to.
Yep.
That's just not something that's okay. It's not.
No.
And then if you see a service dog tasking, whether that's with them laying on their
Mm-hmm.
owner or
Mm-hmm.
pawing their owner or doing something to their owner, leave them alone. Don't talk to the owner. Don't talk to the dog. Don't like sit there and
Well,
stare at them.
I will say I've had someone ask me like they saw Pluto tasking and they said, "Do you need any help?" Um,
A
I
good
thought
one.
that was really nice.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I told her no because I did not want any help and like I was already like so like I will also say if someone says no and it sounds rude, don't take that in a bad way because
Yeah. Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
going through an episode and they're not. again, in the right headspace. They're just trying to focus on themselves, their dogs, So I
Hmm.
would be okay with people asking me. Um, I'm probably always going to say no just because my comfortability level, but there are people that might say yes and people that actually might need your help. Um, so it is okay to ask, but don't be
Take no
offended
as
if
an
they say
answer
no.
and don't take it. Yeah, don't take it personally.
Don't take it personally at all. So that's a good one too. Um,
Last, I have one more. Last one
yeah.
is don't try and take photos of the dogs.
Yes, no
You
photos,
can ask,
please.
you can definitely ask, but take no as an answer. And like you said before, don't take it personally.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Don't take it personally.
Hmm.
And um, just let them do what they're doing. That's what they're there for, is for their handlers, not for everybody else.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm. That was good.
Yeah,
I
I
love
think that
that.
sums up everything.
Yeah, I totally agree. Anyways, so, as we said last episode, and we'll say it every episode, if you guys have any questions, topics, or anything, you're more than welcome to submit them
Yeah.
to our whatever platform you're listening or looking at,
We'll have
Instagram.
it, yeah, we'll have
Yeah,
it somewhere on the caption or in the bottom or wherever.
yeah,
I know on Instagram right now we have a little highlight on our stories.
yep,
You can, there's a little box and you can put in your topic request. You can
yeah,
go send it there. I know I put up a couple on, I think, our YouTube, and I
yep,
have one on my Facebook, which is Dakota Sheltie Fidget. So
yep,
you can comment on those things too, but I'm sure there'll be more
absolutely.
as this is posted. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
ones I
ask
can
us
think of.
questions, send us topics. We'll feature you guys on there and shout you
Yeah.
out. Eventually we're hoping to do guests, but right now we're going to just burn through some topics that we want to talk about and then like
Mhm.
go from there. But
Definitely. Yeah.
we will be having episodes hopefully every Thursday for you guys, something new, something fresh, and featuring you guys as you send in your questions, as you send in your topics, and go from there.
Yeah, we are very excited. This was a very exciting first episode. It was a
Yeah,
great conversation.
really
I
great
loved it. It was
conversation.
awesome.
Same, me too. All right, guys, this has been the Golden Sheltie Podcast. We will be airing every Thursday. Submit your questions, and we will see you guys next week. Bye,
Bye.
guys.